So sometimes our tech fails us. We record every single sermon that's preached at the church because there are people that can't make it, or our reach is much further, or there's people that are so moved by what's preached that it really helps for them to go back, have a listen. Because what we try and do every time we preach is, just unlocking the church, is help people recognize where they're at with God and then give them really practical and solid spiritual steps to move to a better place with God. And so when you do that, you actually create a wealth of resource for people to go back. A couple of weeks ago, I preached on jealousy. And it was the day when our tech failed. See, this is where we usually record from. Little USB here, and providing it's activated, it records everything that goes through the desk from happening up the front. And it means we can just take the file off that, do a little bit of a snip and edit, and then add it to our SoundCloud account. Very, very handy. And as a result of our tech failing, it meant that the sermon wasn't recorded. And I've had a number of people since go, "Oh, I so wish that sermon was recorded." Now, sermon, for those of you like, what is a sermon? It's a talk given at church. It's just a fancy name for it. I don't know, we just get used to it. Sorry. So it's fascinating that this talk on jealousy, which I don't think I've ever preached on before, but I was pretty outright about it, and basically took the angle that if you're jealous, you want something that God has blessed somebody else with, and that's where the sin is, and this is how you move out of that. It really struck a chord for people, which is really awesome. It's good to preach something that you know really resonates with those who you care for and you're leading. Anyway, long story short, I have decided to come in today. It's Monday morning, it's first thing, and I am going to re-preach the sermon to all these people. Yeah, I know. It's just going to be it's a bit weird because when I'm funny in my sermons, there's no one to laugh. I know. This is what it looks like for me on a Sunday when I preach behind. This is the angle that we get. People sitting all across there. And so we're gonna have a crack at it, but it was a couple of weeks ago, so it's funny because I'll be a little bit rusty about the flow and the rhythm of it all, as well as there's no one to respond to. So when you preach to people, there's a real energy that comes back, and you get to be moved by that. But we put all our sermons online. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description down below, so you can actually go and have a listen. And you might find one there you're like, oh, that resonates with where I'm at. When you preach every week and you constantly find yourself addressing themes that are really applicable to people, like prayer or AI or jealousy or whatever, temptation, we did this last week, you actually find you accumulate a whole bunch of resources that can help people get dislodged from that stuff in their spirit. So they get caught up, or they get sort of drawn into a whole bunch of thinking around this stuff that's just not healthy. And so we've gradually, so this is where a bunch of our resources are. We've got a scam guide. So I talked about how not to get scammed and what Jesus wants for us in a sermon a little while ago, which just, it was really, really helpful. I was just sick of my people getting scammed. Makes me mad, that righteous anger. We did a how to pray guide where we took Jesus's words in his prayer and made them really applicable. We've got this, what is Christian salvation? So we've got a few different things, and our plan is, because we keep generating these, right? So on jealousy, I've got now a sheet about how to overcome jealousy. And you read the sheet and you pray and you're free. It's so cool. And so what we're gonna do is put a bookshelf in here. And there's going to be different levels, and that's going to have a whole bunch of our resources that we've been able to create and really bless people with, so that when they come in and out of the church, they might see something and go, oh, that's what I'm struggling with. And they'll do the little bit of a over the shoulder, just make sure they're not looked. They'll pick it up, go home, be free. Oh, I love it. Our church is about bringing hope to people, and that stuff brings hope to people, and we're really pumped about it. We think in terms of series in church. So we basically do a whole series on a subject or a theme or a story. So at the moment we're doing Joseph from the Old Testament, not the New Testament. New Testament was Joseph and Mary, parents of Jesus. Joseph in his Technicolor Dreamcoat was what the musical made him famous for. It's actually a tiny, tiny bit of what he was actually about. In fact, it's almost non-existent about what he was about. It was about far more than that. And they say that Joseph is the Old Testament representation of Christ, who we see and meet in the New Testament. So it's been a wonderful series and a lot of fun to do. We've got some other preachers in to cover different parts of it as well. But for all intents and purposes, this morning I will preach to an empty church I will record it, and I'll probably get to the end of it and realize the recording is faulty, because that has happened. And yeah, it's less Christian Ralph when that happens, to be honest. Gee whiz. So I'm going to get into it, and if it worked, you might sit down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Rev Days, and I'm Ralph Mayhew. Should have said that at the start, shouldn't I? It doesn't matter. You're with me or you're not, I don't care. Thanks for joining. Like, subscribe. See you next time.